Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make a bracelet. Now, the materials I'm using are from Potomac Beads Best Bead Box XL. This was November's box, and I know this video is late, but better late than never. And you know, 2020, it's not normal, so it only makes sense, right, that I'm late for this. But anyways, this bracelet that I came up with, it's very simple, very easy to do. The last one I did from the box, the Cassiopeia, that one was a complicated design, but I really love that. If you didn't see that bracelet, I will put a picture of it up now. That was an epic design. It was very challenging for me to design, but once I got it down, it wasn't that bad, and I showed you guys how to do it on video. And like I always say, if you can follow along and understand what I'm doing, then you can do it too. Okay, so this bracelet here, you can no longer buy the box to make it, but you can go onto their site and buy the beads here to make it, which in my opinion is way better because you can choose what colors you want. And you can buy more beads because you're only going to have enough beads to make one bracelet, so you can make a few bracelets for Christmas. This is a great Christmas project because it's very simple to make, and it's a weaving one, so it's fun. So you will need to cut 7 feet of 8-pound fireline. I only designed this bracelet one time and it turned out great. I didn't remake it, so it might be 6 feet, but to be safe, we're going to go with 7, and we'll see how it goes by the end of the video. And at the end, if I see that you could change the length, I will tell you, so you don't waste thread, because I'm big on not wasting materials. Alright, so for now, 7 feet is what I'm going to do with that. And then you're going to need a size 10 beading needle, and I love the tulip needles. They last forever. I use the same needle over and over for like a year straight, and it doesn't break. It's crazy. And you're also going to need 10 Bowtrio beads. These are really neat. They have 3 holes like that. The center hole's bigger, which I don't actually like because 11 seed beads go in there, but that's what it looks like from the side. It's pretty neat. And you're also going to need 14 6mm roundtrio beads. In case you've never seen one of these before, they have 3 holes. See that there? Pretty darn cool. I don't know how they can make that, but it's amazing. But you can get this in faceted or round. I like both. And then you're also going to need 10 2-hole cabochon beads. Now these are different from the candy beads. These are, I think, 6mm, and I think the candy are 8. Not totally sure, but I want to say so. But anyways, where's the holes? Right there's the hole. See that? The candies don't have a flat bottom like this. They're more round on the bottom, and these here are more of a cabochon shape. And then you will need 20 crescent beads. That's what that looks like. Okay, and I am using 4 2-hole beads. Actually, that one, these two have 3 holes, but 4 multi-hole beads. And then we're going to need 5 6mm Czech fire polish beads, and they don't have to be Czech fire polish. As long as they are 6mm, they should work for this design. And you're also going to need 46 3x5mm Czech rondelle beads. And you will need 30 3x4mm jade rondelle beads. Now, if you can't get these jade rondelles, these are gemstones, you might be able to do 6 seed beads in place of them. Alright? And then you will need 11 miyuki seed beads, and you could probably do Czech if you have those instead. And a cut button is what I'm using as the clasp, but if you want, you probably could do a toggle clasp, whatever you want. It's just when we go to add the button, instead of doing the seed beads that I'm doing, you would just do like make a loop of 7 seed beads, and you would put a split ring on that, or jump ring, however you want. But you have several options on what you can do. So again, this is the list of materials. I always put the list down there below in the description bar, so you can get the same things that I am using here. So I went ahead and I laid my beads out here in a pattern so you could see what we're doing. It also makes it easier for me because I don't have to go back and forth with the needle like crazy, so I like to lay a pattern out here. And we're going to start by picking up the roundtrio bead first, and it's good to make sure that all your holes are clear in your multi-hole beads, because they are notorious for either being clogged with a piece of glass or having no hole at all. And there's nothing more annoying than making a piece and realizing that you're totally missing a hole. You can't even clear it out with your needle. You have to undo it. And I've done it multiple times, and I still continue to do it because that's just how things are. Okay, so I'm going to go through the center hole first, like that. And pull my tail through. Okay, we're going to be leaving a 6-inch tail, so I'm going to pass the needle back up through the side hole. Okay, we're using 2 holes. And I'm going to take a ruler. Maybe I'll move this up a little bit. Okay, taking a ruler, I'm going to measure 6-inch tail, so I'm just going to slide this. It easily slides. A little bit more. Okay, right there, that is 6-inch tail. Now I'm going to take and tie a surgeon's knot, so over and under 1 time, like that, over and under twice. Pull that knot down and pull it tight. So this here is our anchor. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and pass through the center hole in the round trio bead, and we are going to be picking up the very center of our bracelet. It's going to be 1 long strand. So I laid my beads out here, and I'm going to pick up 2 11-0 seed beads, my rondelle, my Bowtrio, my gemstone rondelle, my 6mm Czech fire polish bead, my gemstone rondelle, the Bowtrio, the black rondelle, like that. Slide those down, and I'm just going to slide all these down real quick so you could see. This is what I have so far. Keep going. I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads. Make sure you do 2 seed beads every time you do this. The round trio again, and it is also very important that you go to through the center of the round trio bead. Okay, 2 seed beads again, rondelle, Bowtrio, gemstone, Czech fire polish, gemstone, Bowtrio, through the rondelle, 2 seed beads, and through the center of the round trio bead, like that. But there is what I have, so I'm going to keep going. 2 seed beads, rondelle, Bowtrio, gemstone rondelle, Czech fire polish bead, gemstone rondelle, the Bowtrio, rondelle again, 2 seed beads, round trio, center hole, 2 seed beads. And I'm going to fast forward because we're just going to be repeating the same thing over and over. Alright, I laid my beads out again so you can better see what we're doing. I'm passing through that center hole, of course, in the round trio, and now I'm going to take my needle and go through the side hole. Does not matter which side hole. At least at this time it does not matter. Lay this back down. Okay, and pull this tail through. Make sure you pull this tight. You do not want any slack. Okay, like that. And now I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads, my rondelle, 1 seed bead, excuse me, my crescent bead, like this. Slide this down, go through the Bowtrio, and I'm going to try to make sure that I don't pick this up because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to just hold it down like this, okay, and pull that tight. Make sure it's tight because this could loosen up in the middle. And now I'm going to do in between the Bowtrios here. So that's one seed bead, my cabochon, and a seed bead. And we're going through the top hole there of the cabochon. See that there? Because it's laying in this direction. So I go through the top hole, and then I go through the Bowtrio. So I'm going to hold this in place. And I'm stuck on the corner of my desk. I don't think I've ever done that. I've been stuck on the knobs, but I don't think I've ever been stuck in the corner of my desk. Okay, pulling this thread through. It goes like this. Pull it tight, and then I'm going to pick up, slide this down, I'm going to pick up crescent bead, a seed bead, rondelle, 3 seed beads. Go through the side hole in this round trio. Does not matter which side hole because we're on the first round here. Pull all the tail through, and it should sit like this. And again, make sure you pull it tight. So that's the first section done, and then I'm going to do this again, but I'm doing it in reverse. So I'm going to start out with 3 seed beads instead of the crescent, and then the rondelle, 1 seed bead, crescent, like that, and then through the Bowtrio, pull all the tail through, pull it tight. Okay, this is what I have now. I'm going to do the cab again, so I have to do a seed bead, the cab bead, seed bead through the next Bowtrio. And it really does help if you hold this down. You want to kind of hold it firmly, because sometimes when I don't, it will literally jump out of my hand, because I'll give it a tug and it just jumps right out of my hand. Okay, and then a crescent, I have to go through this side of the crescent like that. A seed bead, a rondelle, 3 11s through this round trio, pull it tight. And did I just tie it up? Nope. I'm okay. Okay, I'm gonna do this again, but start out with 3 11s, and then my rondelle, and 1 seed bead through the crescent, through this Bowtrio, okay, and then my cab bead, so seed bead, cab, going through the top hole there of the cab, seed bead, through this here. I always find when I do a project like this that is multi-hole beads, in case you're new to my videos, I like to lay the bead down. This is helpful, so that way you could see which hole you have to go through. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to be repeating this here again. Okay, and I'm probably going to fast forward this now. Alright, so I'm putting on my last row of beads here, going through that side bead in the rondelle, not rondelle, it's a round trio. There's way too many names to remember. Way too many names. And I gotta admit, I'm kind of struggling filming today. So, okay. There. looks good. So let's do the cut button now, or you can do this instead. You could pick up 7 seed beads and sew back through the round trio, but you're going to come out the side bead, just like we do with this, okay, if you want to do like a toggle clasp or lobster claw. But I'm going to do this because I actually have this in my stash to match the bracelet. Alright, we're going to pick up 8 seed beads. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, it probably would have helped if I put on my glasses today. I'm not really actually blind. It's just that the camera tripod in front of my face and the camera itself is kind of hard to see. I'm a distance away from the desk. Okay, so there's my beads, my button. Slide all this down. Looks like that. And then I'm going to pick up 3 beads for the center. Now you can do something fancy here. Actually, I can't. I usually do it with an 8-0 seed bead. When I do 8-0s, I do a 1-11, an 8, and 11, but I don't have 8s. So I'm just going to do 3 11s and sew back through the button like this. Okay. Make sure you pull it tight. Pick up 8 seed beads again. These blue lined seed beads, looking at them, I would say that they are silver lined but tarnished, but they are not. They are actually blue lined, which is really cool, and I like them. There's my 8. But I've always had a thing about not using silver lined seed beads because they tarnish and you can't clean them. The silver actually comes out of the center. Color lined does also. So going through right here, but using these, they kind of look like they're tarnished. It makes me want to do the tarnished beads that I have in my stash just to see what it would be like, because they kind of look cool being dark in the center. I don't know, that's just something I thought of. Okay, coming out of this round trio now, I'm going to pick up the same pattern that I did on this side, but I'm going to be doing it on this side, and we're just going to mirror the other side. So 3 seed beads, a rondelle, 1 seed bead, crescent bead, and through the Bowtrio. Like that, and then my cabochon bead, well, my seed bead, then my cabochon, going through the top hole like that. Okay, seed bead, and then through the Bowtrio. Okay, and then I do this again, but it's in reverse, so I have to flip this over because I have to go through it this way. And then a seed bead, and then a rondelle, and 3 seed beads, 1, 2, and 3, and through the round trio. Okay, and I'm just going to do a little section with you guys, and then I will fast forward. So 3 seed beads again, rondelle, not roundelle, rondelle, and then seed bead. I was going to say round trio, that's what I was going to do. And then crescent bead, like that, through the Bowtrio. Okay, and then a seed bead through the cabochon bead, like that. Seed bead, and then Bowtrio. Pull it through. Okay, that's what I have so far. And then crescent, seed bead, rondelle, 3 seed beads, 1, 2, 3, through the round round trio. It's just one of those struggling kind of days, you know what I'm saying? Struggling to remember any name. I know what it is, it just comes out wrong. So last part right here, going through the round trio, going through that last hole there that I haven't been through yet. Okay, I'm gonna flip this over. I'm gonna pull this tight. So I'm gonna get more seed beads, and I'm going to pick up 1.25 inches plus 1 extra seed bead. So just pick up a whole bunch, and then I will measure. Probably about 1 inch right there. Okay, let's see. I'll slide them down the tail a little bit. So I have 1.25 inches. I need one more. That's funny. Sometimes it's right on. Not all the time. I'm not on view, am I? There we go. Okay, so this is 1.25 inches. Can you see that? 1.25 inches plus 1 extra seed bead. Okay, slide all of this down. And go through the round trio right here. While I'm at it, I'm also going to go through these 3 seed beads and through the rondelle, just like this. Pull it through, and there we go. That's our loop. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this back down so you could see what I'm doing. Alright, I have my beads here laid out. I'm doing round trios and the jade rondelles. Coming out this czech rondelle, not the seed bead, but just the czech rondelle, I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads like that, and I should scoot this down. I guess I can't because my beads are laid out there. Okay, so I'm just going to go with it. There's my 3 seed beads. I'm going to go through this crescent bead, that new hole there. Okay, pick up my gemstone rondelle and then go through the cab. And then if you want, you could pick up the next one and go through the crescent, and then you can pull your thread through all at one time. Or you can do 1 bead at a time. It's up to you. Okay, like that. Pull that tight. Then I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go in through this black rondelle, and I'm also going to come out 1 seed bead. Okay? Very important that you do this. I have to pick it up because I want to make sure. Make sure you come out 1 seed bead, just like this. When I first designed this, I only went through the rondelle, and my bracelet started to warp, and it wasn't laying flat at all. And I realized if I just come out that 1 seed bead, it should stop it. And I did, and it fixed it. Okay? So, okay, now I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead, my round trio bead. I'm going to go through a side hole. We're actually not going to use the middle hole on this bead, which is kind of a bummer to me because I like to use all the holes. This is probably the first time I made something with multi-hole beads and not use all the holes. It's like an OCD thing that I had, but I had to do it this way in order for this to look right. Okay, so I'm just going to slide those down for now, because I have to come through like this. So I'm mirroring the other side. I came out that seed bead, but this time I'm going to zoom in because I hate picking the bracelet up. I'm going through that seed bead and then out the rondelle. Okay, so when you pull your needle, this bead pull it tight, should lay like that. See how it lays like that? Okay, so again, I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads, go through the crescent, and then do gemstone through the cabochon. Just come out a few inches, pick up that gemstone again through the next crescent, pull all the tail through at once, pull this tight, okay, and then 3 seed beads, go through this rondelle and out through 1 seed bead. Pull it tight, pick up 1 seed bead, round trio, going through a side hole, 1 seed bead. Man, can you imagine if this was 3D and I pointed the needle at y'all like this? That would be so scary. Like that movie Caroline. That was the scariest part of the movie when they did that. Okay, next thing I do is I have to go through the next seed bead over here, right in front of the rondelle, and then go out through the rondelle like that. So I'm just going through 2 seed beads. Okay, and that bead there is flipping, so I'm just going to pull it tight like that. And then I have to pick up 3 seed beads through the crescent, okay, and then a gemstone bead through the cab, come out a few inches, pick up another gemstone, go through that crescent, and then pull all the tail through. Pull it tight. Tension's important. Sometimes you don't want it super tight, but like most of the time and most of the things I made, I do like it tight. But sometimes, some designs I make, if you pull it too tight, it will actually warp the piece and it won't lay flat. 3 seed beads, and go through this rondelle and through 1 seed bead. Okay, and then 1 seed bead through the side hole of a round trio and 1 seed bead. Slide those down and then through the first seed bead right here and then through the rondelle. Okay, pull this through and it should lay like that. I'm going to zoom back out. Let's see. But right here looks good. And I'm going to keep going. We're just going to be repeating the same thing over and over all the way till here, and I'll show you what to do next. I'm back. I'm up here, just came out the top of that crescent. I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads and I'm going to finish this the way that I started it. So coming out the crescent, I'm going to go through this rondelle, through these 3 seed beads. I'm just going to flip it in this direction. It's easier for me to see what I'm doing. I'm going to go through this round trio and through all of these 11-0 seed beads. And through the cup button and through that 11-0 at the top. Make sure you go through that top 11-0 right now. If you don't, you can't get through there. You can't get through that seed bead right there because it's going at like this angle and there's no way you can get underneath of it unless you back out. So just like that. Okay, don't get caught. Pull it tight. And then I'm gonna get out of my way, tail. Go through this center seed bead. You have to go through that one all by itself because of the angle. And then go down through this seed bead, the cup button, through all 8 seed beads, and if you can, through the round trio. But I don't think I can get through mine. Can I? Nope, it's trying to skip a seed bead. So I'm just going to go through them like that. Okay. Pull it out a few inches and then go through the round trio like that. And then pull all of it through in one shot. Pull this tight. And then I have to reposition my needle. So I'm going to go through these 3 seed beads and come out that rondelle, and we're going to do the same thing on this side that we did on the other side. We're just mirroring it. Okay, so I want this to be like this. Okay, over here, coming out the rondelle, I have to do 3 seed beads and then through the crescent. And by the way, we currently have 2 thread paths going through that button right there. We only have 1 done here, but we will be doing 3 or 4 on each end. Coming out with the crescent, I have to pick up the gemstone, go through the cab, come out with a few inches, pick up another gemstone, go through the next crescent, and then pull. What is happening right there? Okay. Then put all the tail through like that at once. And then again, I'm going to do 3 11-0s. Go through the rondelle. You'll have to push it out through the rondelle and through the first seed bead. Just like that. Lay this down. Pull it tight. Okay. And then 1 seed bead, round trio going through the side hole. Careful you don't go through the center. A seed bead through this seed bead right here. And then through the rondelle. Alright, so I just picked up my last gemstone there. Okay. Now I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads and I'm going to go through this rondelle through these 3 11-ohs, pull that snug, and then through the round trio, and then through all of those seed beads. Again, as many as I can at once, like that, and then through the top here like that. This is our second pass through this button loop. I'm gonna go back down through all of these and out through the round trio. Let's see. There I am. Okay. Like that. Alright. This is what I have. That's upside down. There we go. This way. Now see how these are flipping? We're going to connect these with more black rondelles. The last of my rondelles right here. Okay, I have to reposition my needle. So coming out this round trio, I have to go through these 3 seed beads, through the rondelle, through these 3 seed beads. We're gonna be following our old thread path through the crescent, the gemstone, the cabochon. And we have to do this so we can add beads in that area. So I'm going to go through just like that, through the gemstone, the crescent, and that 1 seed bead. Pull this through. Okay, we are now repositioned. So every time I come out of that 1 seed bead beside the crescent, I'm going to pick up an 11-oh, a black rondelle, and a seed bead. Just like this. And I'm going to go through that outside hole, not the center, but the outside hole there of that round trio. Okay? And then I'm going to pick up a seed bead, a rondelle, and a seed bead again. Coming out the round trio, I'm going to go through this seed bead, the crescent, the gemstone, and also go through the cab. So this is where we're following our old thread path, is this area there that we go through. Pull this through. Pull it tight. And that there is what makes the bracelet lay flat. Right now, these here are kind of flipping up, but once we add those beads there, it makes the whole piece lay flat. It's really pretty. This part is actually my favorite part. This here is kind of like the main areas, I guess I would say. But that little void right there, for some reason, I think that's prettier. It kind of looks like a web or something. I don't know. I don't know, but I like it. So out the cabochon, I'm going to go through the gemstone rondelle, through the crescent, and out through 1 seed bead. Okay, pick up 1 seed bead, a rondelle, 1 seed bead. My cat is grooming himself beside me, licking his tail, so I hope that you guys can't hear that because it sounds really gross. Through there. I just didn't want you to think that I was licking myself, because there's no way I could possibly do that and teach how to do this, and y'all are wondering, what the heck is she doing? Alright, through there, like that. Seed bead again, rondelle, seed bead. Where am I at? I'm trying to look at the camera here. Coming out here, I'm going to go through this seed bead, the crescent, the gemstone, through the cab. Yep. Yep. Okay. Pull this through. And again, I'm going to lay it down so you could see. See that? It looks so cool. There's going to be 10 rondelles, black rondelles, in this area throughout the whole bracelet. Okay, repositioning my needle through the gemstone, the crescent, and the seed bead. One seed bead, one rondelle, one seed bead through this outside hole there of that roundtrio, like that. Seed bead, rondelle, seed bead through this seed bead, the crescent, the gemstone. Can I get through the cab too? Let's see. Yes. Okay, just gotta wiggle it. Pull it through. Pull it snug. And there we go. So I'm gonna fast forward this because as you can see, this is probably the easiest part, and I'll show you what to do when we get to the end. Alright, so I just added my last rondelle. I'm going to go through that gemstone, the crescent, through that seed bead there. Okay, and I have to reposition myself, so I'm going to go through all of these beads, loop around, back down, all of these beads, repositioning myself till I get out of here, because that's the next area that I have to add my beads. So there's 2 thread paths currently where this button is, and now there is going to be 3. So going like that, and then turning it through this. Let's see. Oh, I can't. It's like bowed out, so I'll just go through the roundtrio and then up through my 8 seed beads and through the button, and then through that 1 seed bead there on the top. And my bead there isn't lining up, so what I have done before is I just take a bead awl and I grab that center bead right there, I lift that up, and that aligns my side seed bead there so my needle could pass through. Pull all that tail through the center bead. I'm going to turn this. Don't stick your fingers in a loop because it'll get stuck. And then through this 11 button and through all of the 8 seed beads there. Like that. Through the roundtrio. Turn through all of these beads. I may have to take my nails, yeah, and pop them up so I can get through all of them. Okay, through here, almost there, through the cab. Through the gemstone, the crescent, and 1 seed bead. Okay, I'm gonna that is correct. Okay, now I'm going to do this side. So a seed bead, a rondelle, a seed bead through the roundtrio, through the outside hole, not the center hole. We don't use the center hole on this one, which is a bummer for me. It's like my OCD kicking in that I'm not using that. It's a waste. Okay, just like that, pick up those beads again through this seed bead, the crescent, the gemstone bead. I have to get through the cab, and all this time I've been going through that cab after I come out of that gem, but this time I didn't, so now I have to go through it by itself. Just repositioning, gemstone, crescent, seed bead, right here, seed bead, rondelle, seed bead, going through the roundtrio, seed bead, rondelle, seed bead, through seed bead, crescent, gemstone, cabochon bead, and I'm going to stop, oops, and show you how awesome it looks. This part right here with the black, how it goes around the silver, that's my favorite, and it should be this part here with the Bowtrio, because I feel like that's like the center jewel, but I love this part, the little void right there. I think that's pretty. So very simple, as you can see. I'm going to fast forward, finish this up, and okay, so I just added my last rondelle right there. I measure it like this. So it's about 8 inches. Actually, I would say 7 3/4. Okay. Now, I think that I only have 2 thread paths here. I'm trying to see my thread. Yeah, so coming out the cab, I'm going to go through the gemstone, through the crescent. I have to go turn it this direction. Go through these 3 seed beads, through the rondelle, through these 3 seed beads. Oh, and remember, I was unsure if I needed like 6 or 7 feet. Let's see, how much tail do I have? I have 16 inches of tail left over, which I have to say is great, because if I only did 6 feet, I would have 4 inches, and that's not very long at all to finish the bracelet off. I could still do it, but it wouldn't be very pleasant struggling with that short tail. So I'm going to reinforce this loop again. I went through there twice. I'm now going to go through 3 times. So 7 foot was good length. I have to pass through like this because it's just too hard to get through this side there. Okay, now I'm going to go through all of these seed beads. My 3rd pass through the top. I think I'm going to stop at 3 passes because my loop, my button loop here, it seems pretty stiff. Through all of these again. Through the roundtrio. Okay. And I'm just going to get my tail to the outside edge where I can tie knots, because it's easier to tie knots on the outside edge than on the inside, because you'll get caught. But you know, we do whatever we have to do to complete the piece. So let's see, I'm just going to wiggle my way through over here, through these seed beads in this rondelle. Okay, and then I'll come out. I'll go through the crescent and come out that gemstone bead. There we go. Now we're in a good place to tie knots. Like I always do, I'm on the outside here. I'm going to take my needle, pass it underneath, make a loop, and pass through it twice. Bring that knot down. Hold it in place and slowly pull it down. If you jerk it, you could make a loop there that might not want to come undone. You can pull it as hard as you can to make it slide down all the way, but sometimes it does not want to come undone. Okay, and then I'm going to pass through the cabochon bead. I have to go through here at a weird angle I could see because it's kind of stiff. Okay, but that don't matter. As long as you get through there, you can come out the other side. And then I'm going to tie another knot here in front of this bead. Pass through it twice. Bring that down. Position my knot. Slowly pull it down. And pop it right there. Okay, and then I'm going to go through the gemstone bead, through the crescent, sew through these seed beads, and I'll tie another knot in front of the large bead, sew through this bead, tie another knot in front of this bead, sew through that bead, tie another knot in front of that bead. I'm going to use up all the tail that I can. I'll go down this whole side. I think I have enough thread that I can go down this whole side, reinforcing it, making it stronger. And then, once I can't go any further, I trim off my tail, and then I have to put my needle onto this thread, and I pass this thread down this round trio, the side hole. Then I come out these beads. I come out of this gemstone rondelle like I did on the other side, and I start tying my knots, and I use up this thread and I reinforce the piece. So yeah, this side is reinforced 3 times, and so is that side. So this is it. This turned out really pretty. I'm very happy with the color combinations. It's very wintry, like a harsh cold winter to me is what the colors make me think of. Which I have never experienced because I've lived in Florida my whole life. So yeah, I think this turned out pretty cool. I like it, and I think it was really simple to make and very beautiful. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, I will have links to all of the beads that I used here down below. This is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like this video, leave me a comment, and if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and then click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos. And check me out on my social media sites. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.